it sold out in a day, and he's like, I'm out. And partly it's because of you people. He's like, I can't perform in front of these holiday people, but he did. He did a great job. Listen, I'm proud of RJ. I'm proud of it. Think about this. He's like the golden child of his family. Now he underplays his football career. Right? He was like a Sugar Bowl champion, right? Sugar Bowl. He was like an all-state football player. They have like a shrine at the Rice home with him, with his face on it, for sure. For sure. And he's the heir apparent. He could have been like the heir apparent to a highly successful family business, arm of a family business. And he said, forget that! I'm gonna be a personal trainer and a comedian! That's what I'm gonna do! I don't need you people. I don't want a mansion on Walker Lane. Don't give me that. Lame. Forget about it. I don't want that. I'm proud of him for that. I'm so proud of him for that. And you know what, RJ? Because he's the black sheep. He's the black sheep for sure. But he looks forward to being the prodigal son one day. Joey, look out, Joey. He's coming for your fatted calf. He's coming for it. All these years, Joey's gonna be like, wait a second, I've been following the rules this whole time. I've been doing all the stuff. And RJ's just gonna breeze in, but I'm here, biatch. I'm here. I'm ready to take over the business. Woo! So that's what we have to look forward to. Anyway, I'm proud of RJ. He's good. And RJ's been great. He's kind of helped me in the comedy scene, and so I owe him a lot, and he did awesome. Braden, I don't want you to get the idea that Braden's not an ally. Sometimes when he talks about how much he's not gay, you get the feeling like that he's not like an ally. He is. And I do think it's kind of cute that he says, I have a wife and 4 kids, as if that's going to help, as if that means anything. He's Mormon and he has 4 kids. Oh, he must not be gay. Anyway. You know that may or may not be true. I have a wife. Okay, sure you do. That doesn't mean much. But no, he's an ally. Just know that. And I'm an ally too. And I totally relate to that. I relate to the spectrum thing. I for sure am on the lesbian spectrum. For sure. And I'm not attracted to women in any way, but I look like I could be and maybe should be. So, I think it was Chris Rock that said, you are what you have to defend, and nobody ever thinks I am what I am, which is a cis, S-A-H-M, trad wife, which for those of you over 40 is a straight, stay-at-home mom, traditional wife. I just don't have the hair extensions and the Diet Coke addiction to back it up, so it's kind of like, you sure? You sure? And I was lucky I found Steve, because it turns out there are boys who like girls who like boys but look like they should like girls. So it worked out. It worked out great. Match made in heaven. It was good. It was good. And the trad wife thing, really when it came down to it, we were trying to figure out which one of us should be the breadwinner. One of us got 2 degrees in painting and drawing, and the other one went to medical school. So the decision was pretty good. We were trying not to live in a garden shed in our parents' backyard, so we chose the doctor to do it. It's good. And Steve, what'd you say?
You're going to retire him.
You know it. That's right. Starting tonight. Just like painting, comedy pays super well. So I'm prepared to pay for another meal on a vacation, just like when I sell a painting. It's just like I would love it if that happened. That'd be amazing. Start praying now. Start praying now. It'd be great. Really when it comes down to it, Steve would kill to be a stay-at-home parent. He would kill. But I'm like, you're the ding-dong that married an artist. I never would have done that. It's so dumb. I dated him. I knew, don't marry the artist. He thought I was creative and cute. It doesn't take a lot of creativity to fold a bunch of laundry, I'll tell you that much. Sure doesn't. I think when it comes why sometimes people think I should like girls, it's the hair. It's the hair. It's fine. I love the hair. The hair's great. Yes! Ruth, are you out there? Is my hairdresser here? I got someone in charge of this thing, and it's looking pretty good. But let me tell you, this hair gives me a lot of bravery. I get told probably once a week, you're so brave. I might as well be a medic. Or like a first responder. You're so brave. I would never do that. I could never pull that off, but you're so brave. I have to say that when we were in San Francisco a couple weeks ago, nobody told me I was brave. So I'm not as brave in San Fran, but in Holiday, I'm pretty brave. I'm very brave. I've been told over the years, I've been given some really great unsolicited advice on how to be more feminine. Love it. You gotta be more, send it out. Send it over my way. I'll never forget the one day my great uncle Max, who I love. Max is the greatest, but he said to me, Katie, because that's what my family used to call me, Katie, we're just waiting for the day that you look like a girl. And I was like, what the heck? I was wearing a skirt, a flowered shirt, pink sandals, and like a headband. I'm like, is it just my aura? I mean, what more can I do? Give me a break. I had another family member said, we just think that maybe your cropped hair and the way you dress is like a defense mechanism to deflect people. What? I thought we were talking about chicken wings. What are you talking about? Who says that? It's all right. I accept it. I like being on the lesbian spectrum. It's a great group of people. They accept me for who I am. They don't tell me, yes, they accept me, they love me, and I love them. And Steve loves them too, so it's good. It's all good. Speaking of hair, we've had some hair drama over the years, and my little brother's not here. Usually Bobby's here to help, and if any of you know Bobby, he's the greatest, and he's also totally bald because he has alopecia. So I am gonna, I have my own hair drama, but this happened before Bobby had his. I'll never forget one day I came in from recess, and my friends and I were having a great old time, and these boys were like chuckling in the corner, and we were like, what are you guys laughing at? And they said, well, Scott Shovers showed our class picture to his family, and his little sister pointed to you, Kate, and said, why is Willy Wonka in your class picture? How rude. Here's the thing. What sixth grade girl doesn't want to look like a movie star? You know what I mean? Like, on one hand, it's like, I do look like a celebrity. On the other hand, I'm not sure Gene Wilder is like every girl's dream. It's kind of like, okay. The thing is back then I did have a pretty tight dishwater blonde perm. So if you go watch Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein or Willy Wonka the Chocolate Factory, next time you do, just kind of picture me with a tight perm. And you'll know that Scott Shover's little sister was pretty spot on. She was actually right. It's fine. It's fine. Who doesn't want to look like a celebrity? Don't feel sorry for me. Right after that, Zach Green and John Noel started singing Oompa Loompa Doobity-doo. And there I got my cool nickname, Oompa Loompa. I mean, the cool guys gave me a cool nickname. I should have felt really proud and be excited about it. Don't feel sorry for me. They wouldn't have known my name otherwise. Oompa Loompa's a great nickname. It's awesome. Shortly after that, it was summertime. My friend Jamie and I were riding our bikes around. And our friend Gretchen. Gretty, you're out there. Yeah? Gretty's out there! The thing you have to know about Gretty, she was the bomb.com. She was the it girl. She was it. Whatever Gretchen had, yes, you were. Yes, it's true. She can deny it all she wants. She was it, and other people here that went to Cottonwood Elementary know that. Woo woo! Yeah, whatever Gretty had. So Jamie and I had our fluffy perms, and Gretty came up, and then she talked to us and then rode away. Now, she was our friend, but she was a level above, for sure. And she rode away, and we're like, what's up with that silky, straight hair? And we looked at our Buffanti perms. We thought, we got to take care of this right now. So, if Gretchen has straight hair, we need straight hair right now. So we hightailed it over to the Rite Aid and Holiday, the most depressing place in the world. If you want to go and feel like this is a sad, sad world, go to the Rite Aid. Now Walgreens and Holiday, it's still that way. Anyway, but we hightailed over there and we got some perm solution because we're geniuses. We went back to my house and we combed it through our hair and I had a particularly tight perm, so I put on the cap, and Jamie, the timer went off and Jamie washed hers out and it looked straight, looked beautiful, and I thought, I'm gonna leave mine in just a little bit longer to make sure. Anyway, then I rinsed mine out. My hair was straight too, but it took us a couple seconds to realize that all of my bangs had fallen out. All of them, except for like a little tuft here and a little tuft here. I had a pretty sizable bald spot just right there. And so then my mom came in to assess the damage, and apparently I had a good bald spot right here too. And just for good measure, a week before, some kid at church had made fun of my sideburns, and I had shaved those off. So, I was already struggling a bit. Some of this, what's hard is a lot of my adversity was self-inflicted, so it was a little bit rough. My sister Kelly tried so hard to cool me out. It just did not work. I would not do it. So anyway, I spent the summer wearing a lot of hats and some comb-overs. And my hair grew out just in time for 7th grade, but just enough to look super weird. It was like little spikes. And so we had to go to our hair guru, Angel, and Angel was the best. And she was like, girl, we gotta cut this whole thing off. Now listen, I've had short hair for about 25 years and I love short hair. But back then, short hair was not the thing. I did not want short hair. But my mom and Angel had managed to convince me that I would look like Molly Ringwald in 16 Candles. So I was like, okay. And Kelly wasn't there to be like, oh, hell no, you're not gonna look like Molly Ringwald. Don't do it. Don't cut your hair. But my mom was like, you're gonna be so cute. In the 60s, we all had short hair. Anyway, so they cut my hair off. I did not look like Molly Ringwald. The thing about looking like Molly Ringwald is you kind of already have to look a little bit like Molly Ringwald. You know what I mean? Like, what are the chances that a little 12-year-old with orange skin and dishwater brown hair are going to look like a redheaded, gorgeous 17-year-old girl with porcelain white skin? They're low. They're very low. I did, however, end up looking like a 16 Candles character. It was Anthony Michael Hall. So. The hairdo, along with my penchant for rugby shirts and muscle pants, made for kind of an interesting Olympus Junior High experience. I don't know what the deal's with the muscle pants. I saw those and I was like, I gotta have them. And of course Kelly's like, don't wear them. And I'm like, I gotta wear them, they're great. I would have been lucky to be remembered as only Oompa Loompa at that point. It's pretty bad. It is a little ballsy of me to talk about hair stuff. As I mentioned, my little brother has alopecia and there's no hair nowhere. A lot of cyclists and gay dudes are jealous because he's got no hair nowhere. But when we were young, he started losing his hair in 5th grade, so he was pretty young. He's 10 or 11. It's kind of sad. And my dad came to us and said, "Hey, we're gonna have a family fast. But you gotta know something about the Harringtons. We're not good fasters. We don't fast well. It's actually kind of dangerous to be around us if we haven't eaten, you know what I mean? Especially my dad. But you could tell it was serious. He came, we're like, okay, I guess we're gonna fast. We're gonna do this thing. It was one of the hardest days of my entire life. I have yet to fast for another 24 hours. I admit it. I'm sorry. I might not make it because I can't fast. 24-hour fast is not happening. Never again. We went downtown and met with some high-ranking church official, and I think I felt the spirit, or I was hallucinating from the hypoglycemia, one of them. It was rough. I haven't eaten at Olive Garden in about 30 years, but that day, I was saved by the OG. I was saved by the never-ending soup, salad, and breadsticks. It saved me. I loved it. It was the greatest. It was so fun. I was trying to prove to my teenager, he's trying to get TikTok, so I was trying to prove to him that it was highly addictive, so I got it myself. And it's highly addictive. You know what, though? Like a middle-aged lady, I'm a middle-aged mom. I need something. You gotta have something. You need some, what can you do to just take you away for 3 or 4 hours a day? You know what I mean? What can you do that's just take me away? Scrolling, you're like, 20 minutes is gone. I'm like, nope, 5 hours. I think because I'm middle-aged, a lot of my things are about like hormones and exercise. And one of the things on my algorithm that pops up are these guys that go and approach really fit people. They'll go and find real fit people and say, "What is your secret?" And the best is when they go up to like a 20-something. They go up to like a 22-year-old girl. "What's your secret?" And she's like, "I just try to eat clean and just exercise." And it's like, well, guess what your secret is? You're 20. That's the secret. You haven't been through the fog of war that is life. You haven't had children. Even if you haven't had children, guess what? My daughter had maturation this year. They're like, "You're going to have a change. And then you're going to have about 10 other changes after that." That's like the first of many changes. Your body as a woman is a total shiz show. Just remember that. But it's great. We love being women. But then they'll go up to these real jacked guys, these real like jacked 50-year-olds, like, "Oh man, you're like 55 or 60, you look so good. What's your deal?" And he'll be like, "Man, it's all about my macros, it's about my micros, I do an ice bath, I do bone broth, I eat a testicle, I just, all the things. I get the reps in, I do all the stuff." And I have no doubt that guy does a lot of reps of whatever it is he does. I have no doubt. But he's missing two main components that he's not mentioning. And I just want to tell you this in case you're feeling bad about your own body habitus. He's missing two main components. The first, genetics. The second, steroids. Testosterone, steroids. All I'm saying is if you're feeling bad about yourself and you're not injecting yourself with like 1,000 cc's of testosterone, you're doing okay. Go eat a testicle, you'll be fine. I've been on every eating plan there is. Going back to fasting. Fasting for some people is like their way of life. I have a friend who legitimately eats from like 1 to 1:30 every day. I should say she eats chewing food. That's how I eat my chewing food between 1 and 1:30. I'm like, what in God's green earth is chewing food? Otherwise, I have bone broth and juice, and I'm like, oh, heaven help us all. The thing is, if you prescribe something like that to me, if you say, "Hey, you can only eat between 1 and 1:30 a day," I'd be like, challenge accepted. I can squeeze 5,000-6,000 calories a day. I'll be like the one lady, like, "How did you get on this 600-pound live show?" "Well, I decided to only eat for a half hour a day. I tried to squeeze it all in, and now I'm huge." What am I gonna do? I've struggled for many years, so I've been on every weight loss thing. Diet Center, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Slim Fast. Do you remember Slim Fast? I don't have as many, I don't watch a lot of daytime TV, so maybe it's still on the daytime. I don't have as many commercials. Slim Fast, drink one of these 100-calorie shakes for breakfast, drink another one for lunch, and then have a piece of boiled chicken for dinner. It's great, you're gonna lose a lot of weight. You're gonna also lose every ounce of joy and happiness. And the will to live. You will lose the will to live. But you'll be skinny. You'll be skinny. Cabbage soup diet, that one really works. That's like in a pinch. Like, I gotta lose 20 pounds over the weekend. Eat a bunch of cabbage soup. You will have diarrhea. And you will smell like a Bolshevik officer. But it works! But it works, it's great. No, seriously, I always think those guys that go into the gyms, go find, if you want to know what workout programs are like, you want to know what it's like to work hard, the hardest working person in a gym is like a middle-aged mom trying to lose the last 15 pounds of baby weight. She's done all, you know it. She's the hardest worker. Don't go ask some ripped guy, forget it. Now a lot of really fit people get kind of pissed off when you mention the genetic thing. They're like, genetics? You're just lazy. It's like, yeah, genetics, come on! Does that not play a role? For crying out loud. I mean, I have had weight loss surgery and I take Ozempic and I still look like this. That's all I'm saying. And if any of you get threatened by that, believe me, you're still gonna be the skinny little thing you are. I'm no threat to you, because I have an Irish ancestor that survived the potato famine. That is up in heaven right now and is like, you will never never starve today. You will live forever. Seriously, I could stop eating today and not eat for a year. I mean, physically, like emotionally, I could go about a half hour. But, in fact, I need to slice one. Like emotionally, I could stop eating for about a year. I'd have to drink water, obviously, because science, you know what I'm saying. And you know what would happen? I would still weigh 150 pounds, and they'd be like, your BMI's a little high still. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I am bred to survive this world. I'm not going nowhere. It's not genetics. BS, it's genetics. It's crazy. I love the kind of the new thing with nutrition is to just like not follow any science. It's like, hey, let's find an influencer that lives in Utah County and knows nothing about nutrition. Let's ask her what we should do. And the latest, I love that the latest thing is like, which is an old one. This happened when I was in high school and college. We're like, don't eat anything you can't pronounce. Okay, it's come back full circle because this is how smart we are these days. Okay, I'm just gonna help you out. I want you to repeat after me. Phenylalanine. Aspartame. Now go drink a Diet Coke. You're fine. You pronounced it. That's the wisdom behind that. It's like, don't eat if you can't pronounce it. Poor RFK can't pronounce riboflavin. I don't know what vitamin C's missing, but B2's got to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? Don't eat anything you can't pronounce. I mean, you're underestimating my vocabulary. I can pronounce anything. If needed. I also love, going back to TikToks, I was on the TikTok and this girl was debating Pop-Tarts. She was like, look at the ingredients on these Pop-Tarts. These Pop-Tarts in France, there's only 6 ingredients, and the ones in America, there's 12. They're poisoning us. Okay, it's fine. And she goes on and on and on. And then, of course, there's this incoming stitch. This little science lady pops her head up and says, okay, actually, I'm just going to explain this, just so you know, like this and this are actually the same thing. In America, they make you list a few more things. This dye and this dye are the same. There are several things that are banned in Europe that we eat in America, but there's even triple that are banned in America, they eat in Europe. And really when it comes down to it, I'm just spitballing here, is Pop-Tarts are a regular rotation on your grocery list. You're not the health nut you think you are. You know what I mean? Like you may not be, like red dye 70, maybe not, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, if you're really debating Pop-Tarts, I don't know. I could be wrong. And I love Pop-Tarts. I love a good Pop-Tart. We can't have them in our house because my kids will open up. There's always 2 that come in a package. My kids will open up, eat half of one, and then I'm debating like, this is so wasteful. You can't reseal this package. Do I put it in a Ziploc? That's wasteful too. I guess I'll just eat it. You know what I mean? It's not good. A cinnamon brown sugar Pop-Tart's so good. Now, it's just recently that I learned that the pop in Pop-Tart means pop out of the toaster. I thought it was just like, pop it in your mouth. I love a Pop-Tart. I didn't even know you toasted those things. I don't think I'd make it from my pantry to the toaster anyway, so that's good. Speaking of pantries, one of the trends on the TikToks, again, I have a problem, it's fine, is like a fancy pantry, like a butler's pantry. And this is for all, and some of you in the audience are these people. There's some of you that live in houses, I call them the nobody lives there house. You know what I'm talking about? You walk in, you think, does anybody live here? It's so perfect and clean. I don't live in one of those houses. So if you live in a nobody lives here house, you can have one of these fancy butler's pantries. They're usually like beautiful painted lacquer cabinets, wallpaper, apothecary jars filled with food you're not allowed to touch. You know, like antique, like nothing of use, but all, and I'm totally into that. I love that kind of stuff. I love it. Like, I would love a whole room just like filled with all, I collect salt and pepper shakers. Believe me, I want a room that filled with a whole bunch of useless stuff. I love it. But I don't have room for that. But what I really do get jealous of are like a real pantry. Like a real awesome pantry. My sister Sarah Jane has the best pantry ever. You don't even know it's there. You just look around her kitchen like, what is this door? And it's like the door to Narnia. You walk in, It's like 500 square feet, 10-foot ceiling. It's incredible. It's not pretty. It's a total disaster. It's a total disaster in there. But it's awesome. There's 6 million shelves. I just recently learned that I have 3 crock pots. I could put all of them in there. All 3. I mean, truthfully, honestly, like, I don't even need a big pantry for food because the food doesn't last long. I would love a big pantry just strictly like for water bottles. Can we all admit that we have a bit of a water bottle problem? In our community, we have a little bit of a water bottle issue. I, for years, refused to buy a Stanley. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I will not pay $40 just because it has a better handle and it fits in the cup holder. I won't do it. Then my sister-in-law bought me one, and now I have like 15. Because they are better. And they are pretty awesome. And I thought to myself, like, okay, this is it. This is the epitome. And then the freaking hydro jugs come out. And you're like, no, not another water bottle. And you get the hydro jugs, you gotta go in, you gotta move all the Stanleys down, then you gotta move all the Yetis down, then you gotta move all the hydro flasks down. And then you have a general, just like hodgepodge of random camp bottles. You can never find the right one. I'm convinced that kids are at different camps. Like the basketball camp kids go find the golf camp kids like, let's trade lids. These will never fit. We'll never figure out where these go. They never fit, they always leak. It's crazy. But my favorite is the Nalgene. You know what I'm talking about? You remember the Nalgene? We used to get a little carabiner and like put it on our Mountain Smith packs and stroll around campus. Yeah. You know you had one. The Nalgene is amazing. My best friend, our daughters play softball together, and we're watching a game, and her daughter just runs over and starts chugging out of this Nalgene, and I'm like, you're rocking a Nalgene. And she was like, yeah, it's a great water bottle. I'm like, yeah, it is. If you like the taste of tepid water and dish soap, it's a great water. It's amazing. I mean, the Nalgene is built for like river rafting and hiking because it doesn't weigh 100 pounds. But we live in a new era with cold ice water, and you're drinking an Nalgene. I just love when someone has an Nalgene and they have all that hope. They're like shoving ice cubes in there. Those are gonna last like 20 minutes. And then you're gonna taste last night's spaghetti dinner. I do wonder if we have like a meteor that comes and crashes into like holiday, and then thousands of years down the road, they're gonna be studying our culture and just like, what are all these chalices for? What did they store in these things? And I think they'll just conclude like it was a polytheistic society. They worshiped someone named Stanley, someone named Swift, someone named Yeti. I mean, either they were very well hydrated or they had a lot of, and then they'll be able to smelt it all down and rebuild a new city. You know what I mean? Can you imagine how much steel we have? It's crazy. It's crazy. Speaking of drinks, we do have a drinking problem in Utah, and I heard this debate comes up a lot, and I always get a kick out of it, because people are like, you guys drink so much soda, and it's so bad for you. And then someone's like, coffee's so much better. And what I want to say, because just hear me out here. We do drink a lot of soda, and people will say coffee's so much better. Listen, we know it is. We know. We know it's better. We know it tastes better. We know it's better for you, but we can't drink it. Why can't you drink it? We don't know. That we don't know. We do know we can't, and we know the coffee's better, but we don't know why. So please be quiet, because stitches get stitches, and you're gonna go down if you make them change something and we can't have our soda. So just chill. Listen, when we're all up in heaven next to each other, we can have a good laugh about it. In the meantime, be quiet. Let us have our addictions. It's crazy. Do you guys remember early 2000s TV? There's a couple early 2000s TV that I've been thinking about a little bit. And it kind of goes back to the weight thing. There's some triggering, there's some pretty, I know people talk about trauma a lot, and I was like, what is the deal with everybody and their trauma? And then I kind of revisit some of those shows, and I'm like, well, yeah, I think we all have a little bit of trauma. Some of my favorites are Extreme Makeover Not home edition, person edition. Extreme makeover person edition, where they bring someone and say everything about you is wrong. We got to start from the top and work our way down. We're going to have a lot of plastic surgery. We're going to see a psychologist. We're going to lose a bunch of weight. We're going to get your teeth done. I mean, it's pretty much like, you're hideous. Let's fix you. Biggest Loser. Let's humiliate all the fat people. Make them fight against each other. And then watch them as they gain their weight back. It's great. The Swan. The one that always freaked me out, though, was What Not to Wear. Because people got nominated for that. And I don't know for sure, but I'm 99% sure that my sisters, if they didn't nominate me, they thought about it. And so there are a lot of times I'm walking around like, Stacy London, oh my gosh, like, they're coming for me. Because I know that they were like, Kate's gotta get, we have to have an intervention. It freaks me out. And now we're all traumatized. It's great. It's so great. Besides TikTok and early 2000s shows, I love a good crime drama. Anybody love crime drama? Not even crime drama. Let's say true crime documentary type stuff. I do love a crime drama. If you need to know anything about British crime drama, talk to Kelly, talk to me. We'll let you know everything. But I also love like a Dateline or like a true crime doc. I don't know what it is about that, going back to trauma. I don't know why they're so comforting, why they're so good. I honestly, like Sunday afternoon, after I've listened to like church stuff, I'll seriously lay down and just turn on Dateline and sleep. It's weird. I don't know what's going on in my head. I think some of it is I'm kind of a scaredy cat. I get scared pretty easily. And, I have this fear that I'm going to be murdered, but what you realize is that you're probably going to be murdered by someone you know. And it's probably going to be your spouse and their lover. You know what I mean? And for some of you, you got to be careful. Some of you sleep with one eye open, you know what I'm saying? But I look at my sweet, sweet husband in his little robe, sitting on the couch, sipping his Caro, nodding off at 9 o'clock at night. I think, I feel safe. I feel very safe. I think I'm safe. I don't think he has it in him. And he definitely doesn't worry about me. I mean, we're lucky that I ended up with a dude in the end, you know what I mean? The thought, I didn't like dating the first. I had a friend say to me, like, I felt like I got married too early and I didn't get to date. I'm like, you obviously didn't get to date, or because you would know that it's not fun. Don't go back. Don't go back. Sometimes I get a little triggered, though, by the Datelines. If I'm sitting there and suddenly it pans over the Salt Lake Valley, I think, oh no. And then you hear Keith Morrison say, in the shadows of the Wasatch Mountain, you think, please don't show the temple. And there's the Angel Morona. Because let's be honest, when Mormons go off the rails, we really go off the rails. We don't do murder light. It's not like, well, I just smothered him. No, it's like some crazy thing. It's always some like big swinging organization or like some demon. You know what I mean? Like a zombie. You watch Ruby Frankie and Lori Vallow, you're like, oh my gosh. I'm just trying to talk about giving like a little stream and being nice to people. You people are over there creating demon stuff. Give me a break. Lori Vallow and the zombies. To me, this is one of the things, besides killing all the people, but it's like, who names the zombie Ned Snyder? Could you not come up with a better zombie name? So dumb. Only a Mormon would be like, Ned Snyder, it's a great zombie name. That's why we had to kill him. So frustrating. All this drama, we're just trying to live a simple life. Quit bringing up crazy crap. And kill in silence. Here's the other thing. You don't have to be a religious person to know that killing and having an affair are bad, right? It's top 10. Top 10. And sometimes we can't even do that. It's like, give me a break. It's nuts. Anyway, when I get sick of that, then I just switch over to American Greed. Suddenly it's like in the shadows of the Wasatch Mountains. Please don't show the temple! That's even worse sometimes because you're like, my gosh, if somebody asks you to invest and then also have a prayer, GTFO. Head for the hills. Don't be there. Guys, you've heard it. We love a Ponzi scheme. We love an MLM and a Ponzi scheme. Just get away. Run away. Get out of there as fast as you can. It's nuts. Oh, man, that's crazy. Thinking about dating again. Don't want to think about that. You reach middle age and things start to change. Suddenly your friends, you have single friends, your friends are dating. Anybody out there in the dating scene? Okay. Nobody? Sure. Good. We'll laugh about the people that are. We'll make fun of the people that have to date. If anybody's out here on a date, I'm sorry. Things happen. One thing you realize, because there's a lot of preparation that can go into your life, right? A lot of preparation, planning. You can try to pick out like an amazing spouse, and a lot of times you can. But let's be honest, a lot of marriage is just a full-fledged crapshoot. It is. It is. I'm not trying to deny the power of God, but I also know that you can have a lot of God on your side and still marry a total A-hole. I mean, that's just the reality. And we've seen it with our friends. You're just like, oh my gosh. When I told my dad and grandma, my mom was always so positive, hey, but I told them I was going to marry my husband who's from Illinois. They were like, well, who were his people? And I'm like, I don't know, the Muths from Decatur? I have no idea. We got some Muths from Decatur. I'm like, and they're like, how are we going to find out about these people? And I was like, I'm in love. How dare you? They said the same thing when I wanted to be an art major. Are you sure that's the right major? I'm like, how dare you go against my passions? I'm going to marry this stranger from Illinois. And it turned out great, but it was pure luck, people. Total luck. And you get to be 47 and you realize that some of your friends have lost out on some of that luck. And but you get to benefit from watching their Tinder and their Bumble accounts. Which is actually some of the best marital therapy you can do. If you're ever feeling like, my husband's pissing me off, go look at your friend's Tinder. You're like, never mind. You are so good. Thank you for that. One of my friends, we were in Vegas, and we're like, we're going to put you on Tinder. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to scan the meat market. We're just going to see what's up. And literally, I was like, okay, there's going to be some, we're in Vegas. There's going to be some weird guys. I'm thinking Eastern European circus performer. They're pretty fit. That's not bad. I did not account for the amount of actual clowns that came out. We were like, there's a lot of middle-aged clowns in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to front on clowns. I'm not. According to Steve's Aunt Char, it's hard to get into clown school. Because I'm pretty sure his cousin Todd didn't get in. Sorry, Todd. It's hard to get into clown school. So it's an achievement. I just am like, I get that Vegas has a lot of entertainment, but can it support that many clowns? The other thing she put in as one of her favorites was musician. Now you and I would be thinking, yeah, musician, totally. Someone that's second chair cello in the symphony, yeah. Someone that's in a jazz trio on the weekends. A little guitar strumming by the fire pit, which sounds horrible to me, but for a lot of people would love that. It's great. Nobody could have prepared us for the pan flautist that was in the Renaissance Festival. You know what I mean? He plays the pan flute. Or the accordion player. The accordion's an amazing instrument. My neighbor plays it. But if a guy is in a karate outfit also playing the accordion, it's a little weird. My other friend really takes the cake because she's such a unique and awesome person. She's very unique, and so she gets a little bit more unique matches, and they're pretty amazing. One was, she said to us, we're all sitting there, and she said, okay, gun to your head, choose. She's got one picture of a guy dressed up fully in full makeup, Pennywise the Clown, holding balloons. Now, if you were at my last show, you'll know that I don't have any love for Pennywise the Clown. He haunted my dreams for many years. I don't like him. Okay, so I'm like, well, it can't get any worse than that. The next one is just a close-up of a guy's nipple ring with like a scotch on the rocks. And then like an Olin Mills floating head face. But not ironic in any way, and I'm like, clown all the way, man. There's a 50-50 chance that this guy's just joking and he's funny. There's a 100% chance that I can't go out with the other guy. Absolutely not. The next one she showed us, and this guy was cute. I was like, this guy's cute. I like him. She's like, keep scanning. I'm like, all right, he's cute. And I'm getting in deep. I'm like 10 pictures in. She's like, keep scanning. And I'm like, still cute, still cute. I get like 20, 30 pictures in, and finally, it's the fishnet stockings and the stiletto heels, which no judgment, again. You want to wear fishnets and stilettos as a grown-ass man. You do it. And you're not I get that. That's totally, I accept. That just, to me, is a top 10 picture. You know what I mean? That's in your profile. You're burying the lead if that's like 30 pictures in. Like, we need to know that ahead of time. Nobody's going to make it to like picture 35. Well, there it is. You know what I mean? The last one, though, really had me. And this guy was creative. This guy was funny. You could tell he was funny. He was in, like, one of those big, naked, in a big, huge bathtub full of bacon. The only thing that pissed me off about that is that's a major waste of bacon. You can't reuse that bacon. That's got to be like 100 pounds of bacon. I mean, I regularly make like 20 pounds of bacon for our neighborhood breakfast. That wouldn't even cover. Like, you'd still be like, this is X-rated with that bacon. That's a lot of bacon. And anyway, it just made me really feel grateful. I went home, I saw Steve, I patted his little cheeks while he was asleep on the couch, and I said, thank you for being boring! Oh my gosh! One of the things that we cannot underestimate is boring. Like, be nice and be boring. If any of you aren't married yet, be nice, be boring. That's about all you can do. In fact, somebody asked me once, we just celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary. Somebody said to me, what is your secret? Some of you have been married a lot longer than that. But our secret, and I was telling him, I'm like, well, I think my first secret is just, you gotta live life. You know, you just gotta live life. Make sure you get some laughs in. Get some laughs in. And it's just a lot of love. And before you know it, I just basically told him live, laugh, love. You know what I mean? Like, I've given him a Cricut machine, like vinyl decal advice. Just get one of those. Just go down to TJ Maxx and find live, laugh, love and live it. It's good. It's actually really good advice. And on that note, I'm going to tell you, live, laugh, love. I love you. Thank you so much for coming.